Well, last night was the end of the Dirty Days fast food experiment. Um, this lens is really dirty. Anyhow, last night was the end of the Dirty Days. 14 days of fast food, burgers and cheese. Um, and I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with how the whole entire thing went. Contrary to what everybody believes by telling you to stay away from fast food, processed meat and cheese and stuff like that. And with me running as strict as I was and having the stomach conditions that I have, I had no side effects. I used the bathroom better. My ketones went up after every single meal. My blood sugar went down after every single meal. There was nothing adverse about doing it at all. I can honestly say, after the first 6 days of not adding in any other food other than just the burger meat, the burger patties, and cheese, that I didn't even the first 6 days were phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, but even adding in more food, I still lost 5 pounds, 5.5 pounds the entire 14 days. And I think a lot of that had to do with the stress. It took the stress away from having to figure out what I was going to eat. I already knew what I was going to eat. I just had to figure out a place to do it. The key point is reducing the amount of stress. And I think a lot of people in general think that they need a lot of variety of food in their life. But when you actually come to terms with, okay, I'm just eating the same thing for the next, 7 days, a lot of the stress in your life is gone in general. And variety is not really an option anymore, and you've just taken that aspect completely out of your life. And now you're not figuring out, what am I going to make today? What am I going to make tomorrow? That's the power of being on a carnivorous diet, even more than keto. You don't have to think about what you're going to eat. You just eat meat, drink water, supplement salt, potassium if you're not eating enough meat, and you go on about your business. The power of realizing that I don't need variety in my life. I just need things that are going to fit in my life, and realizing that you don't fit the diet, you make the diet fit you. And I use that term because no matter what we believe, what we are doing is a diet. The term in itself, regardless of what your emotion or your state of being by saying diet makes you feel, is exactly what it is. It is a diet. A diet is just a pattern of food that a human being or an animal eats. And that's what this is. So if I'm a carnivore and I'm eating only meat or animal products, my diet is animal products. That is what it is in a nutshell. There's no way around it. There's no way of trying to debate this and stuff like that. We consume a diet of specific things. And over the last 14 days, I had a lot of fast food patties and cheese. Not one time did I get stopped up. Not one time did my blood sugar increase. Not one time did anything adversely happen to me like people suspected it would. And I kind of just did my own thing because I'm tired of listening to what everybody else is saying. So, what are my thoughts on the overall experiment? I think it's definitely something that can be done. I think if you're at work, you forgot your lunch, something like that, you wanted to run by Wendy's and say, hey, give me a couple burger patties with some cheese, not a big deal. It's not going to be the end all be all for your cell health and all that other stuff if it's done every once in a while. Now, I did it for 14 days straight where every single day I was consuming burger patties and cheese. Nothing happened. I felt great. My sleep was good, my mood was good. The little bit of canola oil or soy oil or whatever's in there didn't really have an impact on me. Some people tell me, well, maybe you should have tried to get labs before and after. Well, first of all, I don't have $400 to get labs every time something happens or an experiment pops up. In life in general, what are we going to do every time we make a mistake or a choice to do something outside of the norm? We're going to go get labs done? You got $400 every time you want to add something back into your life? I go off body signals, cues, how I react throughout the day, sleep, how I deal with people, and none of that changed. If anything, it got better. So the recap on the 14 days is live your life. Do what you got to do. Quit listening to everybody else. Quit listening to these new doctors that are popping up from time to time that are telling you, oh, if you have just a little hydrogenated oil, or you're not doing keto right, or you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right. I was just watching a doctor last week, young guy. It really upset me by the way he handled his whole demeanor and stuff like that, and got on camera and was telling people what they should be doing and shouldn't be doing, and what real keto is and bad keto and all this other stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, Dude, you've got some nerve to get up in front of the camera and tell people how to live their life and that they're doing it wrong just because it doesn't fit the way you think it should be done. As long as you're making a conscious effort to heal yourself and get better, that's the whole point behind it. I use anecdotal evidence as my main premise to how I help people. That's all I care about. I don't care about anything outside of mechanistic data and anecdotal evidence. How I help people, how I mentor people, how I coach people, is exactly how I live my life as well. I don't care about what a scientific study says. I don't care about what Joe Schmo says. I care about seeing people heal and seeing people function on a daily level, and knowing that whatever they're doing is leaving their lab panels and their data and stuff in a healthy range or correct. Outside of that, I don't care what a scientific study says. I don't care what a doctor says, a Barry, a Berg, or anybody, or Jimmy Moore. I care about what is actually going on in people's life, when it's going on, how they're functioning, and just following them for long periods of time. So the last 14 days has been a pretty easy, non-stressful experiment, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I wouldn't do it every single day, but again, I did it every single day and I had no adverse effect. I actually lost weight during the process. So my take is, if you want to go have a few fast food burgers with some cheese, go have a few fast food burgers with some cheese. Quit listening to what everybody else is saying. Start making the diet fit you. Don't fit the diet. That's just it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.